Andrew, how beneficial has the start of this little week off been for you guys?
I think it's great. We got a chance to rest. Had a long film session today to go over a lot of things that we have to get better in, and it was definitely a tough, hard film session. But I think we needed it, so I think it's going to help us in the long run.
What were the things in the film session that you guys saw that you need to get better at?
I ain't gonna give you the specifics, but it's more so just our compete level, I would say. Just competition, just being ready to play. There's not really much X and O's. It's really just our energy, doing the things that we can control night in and night out, whether we're making or missing shots.
What made it a tough, hard film session?
He just called us out. He broke down exactly what we need to do, exactly what we haven't been good at, and we watched it. And being able to see that, as a whole team, it's not the easiest thing to see when you're not doing well, but we saw a lot of that today, and like I said, I think it's going to help us.
Why do you think it is going to help you?
Why would it not? It's negative. I feel like anything negative, if you watch it and try to actively work on it, you should get better at it.
In addition to the film session, Thomas said that you guys as players came together today and used that as a way to kind of get on the same page as well. Just how nice is it to have everybody on the same page and to do that, to have a players type of thing like that?
It's great. It just shows that we're all bought in. We're all not happy with where we are. We're all trying to, be better, and we have a common goal. So to have a team-led meeting and, have guys speak out and speak their minds, I think that helps not only the players but the coaches as well.
What kind of things were addressed in that, if you could?
I mean, I ain't going to tell y'all what we said in the meeting.
How much, you mentioned compete level. What's the difference between being shown a clip of yourself lacking compete level versus maybe, okay, we got this coverage mixed up?
I think it's kind of just your own accountability. You can't blame anyone else. Can't say you didn't, you weren't in the rhythm or you weren't making shots or anything like that. If you just, watch film and you see yourself, you're getting cut back door or you're getting beat down in transition, that's on you. So it's just a lot of accountability, and I think guys, we saw that today and we taking accountability.
You mentioned that Evan is sort of he sees him starting to turn the corner, more upward trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see that? What's the up part? What's he doing better?
I think he's just being more aggressive. I think we're putting him in better spots. I feel like earlier in the year he was, starting a lot of his drives at the three-point line. I feel like now he's starting more at foul line in, and that helps our offense. When he's aggressive and getting to the rim.
Talk to you about mental toughness when it comes to this team and needing to up that for this team. When you look at the uncomfortable conversations that you're willing to have in 5 days off, how is that going to help you work through the mental toughness after?
I think you need those things. You can't just kind of brush them to the side and say we're going to be better later in the season, because that's not necessarily true. I think having these days off, getting a chance to watch film, like I said, take accountability for our own actions and how we're playing and the energy we're bringing. It helps every single player because, like I said, we saw it. So it's hard to deny it. It's hard to say, it was this reason or this. So I think, like I said, that accountability aspect is big for us.
One of the areas that Kenny wanted you guys to improve on was rebounding as well. You talked to that point about us throughout the season, but that also comes in ties with the physicality portion of it. You mentioned earlier in the season needing to not get pushed around by teams and making sure you dictate how you play. How important is it going to be to come out into this next game with that level of intensity?
I think it's huge. Like I said, it's something that we, been having issues with this whole season, just rebounding. And I just feel like our overall toughness, and just like we have a chance these 5 days to, kind of right that and, get back on track.
In addition to just having the days themselves, like having practices on those days, I feel like you guys can count on one hand how many practices you've had this year. Mm-hmm. How beneficial is that?
It's huge. Like you said, it's not really much time during the season to actually practice. We got in a good one today. Kind of felt like a training camp vibe. So just being around the guys and, the spirit was high, I feel like that's going to help us.
Shouldn't NBA teams practice more?
Sure.
I mean, how much do you practice now as a pro versus other levels of basketball in your life?
It's the last question.
It's definitely a lot less, but also a lot more games in travel. I only played, 30 games in college, so you can practice more when you're only playing 30 games.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all.